Hello everyone. Today I will discuss provisions relating to TDS on property. It includes two sources of income: TDS on sale of property as well as TDS on rent received from property. Okay, let us first see the points involved in TDS on property. First is TDS on sale of property. The next one is TDS on rent of property. This is to be done by companies and all those individuals and HFs which are covered under tax audit. Third one is TDS on rent of property above 50,000. So now let us see the different points separately. First, TDS on sale of property. 3 points are important in this. Property value above 50 lakhs, TDS at the rate of 1% on total value, and covers land and building. Land means other than agricultural land. If you take the first point, property value above 50 lakhs means if the land or building is the value of the land or building is more than 50 lakhs, then TDS has to be deducted at the rate of 1%. Now, the value of property means what? Value of property means the amount paid for the property as well as any other charges paid for amenities and any type of facilities given, like the parking charge, etc. So, if it is more than 50 lakhs, then TDS has to be deducted. TDS has to be deducted 1% on the total value. That is, it is not that only the value which exceeds 50 lakhs. If the amount exceeds 50 lakhs, then on total value, TDS at 1% has to be deducted. And this provision covers land and building other than agricultural land. So shops, flats, everything is covered under this provision. Next is TDS on rent of property. This has to be done by assessees other than individuals and HUF, that is companies, partnership firms, etc., and also by those individuals and HUFs which are covered under tax audit, that is, which are liable to tax audit under Section 44 AP. The threshold for this is 2,40,000. So if the rent paid by them is more than 2,40,000, on the entire rent amount, TDS has to be deducted. There are TDS at the rate of 2% on plant and machinery and TDS at the rate of 10% on land and buildings, furniture and fixtures. Also, there may be a case when there is composite letting out of property as well as plant and machinery. In that case, we have to segregate the amount to be paid for plant and machinery and amount for land and building as well as furniture, and respectively 2% and 10% we have to apply on the rent for plant and machinery and land and building. The last third point is TDS on rent above 50,000. This is a special provision enacted few years back and is applicable for all those individuals and HUF which are not covered under tax audit. So there is a specific difference between the previous point and this point. This is applicable to individuals and HUFs who are not covered under tax audit, while the 2,40,000 wala provision was applicable to individuals and HUFs who are covered under tax audit. This provision is not applicable to other than individuals and HUFs. And the rent paid per month above 50,000. So if a property, the rent paid is more than 50,000, and on the entire rent, the assessee, the person who is paying rent, has to deduct TDS at the rate of 5%. In this case, there is a special provision made that every month TDS need not be deducted by the, still it will be a proper compliance of the provisions. Next is rate, TDS rate. The rate of TDS is 5% on the total rent paid, as discussed earlier. There is one special point in this respect, which says that there is a special return cum challan notified by the government. that is 26 QC for paying this TDS on rent, and it is a return come challan. So while making the payment itself, the tenant has to file the return as well. It is a combined challan. It is a very big form, and while we fill it, we automatically file the return as well, and the payee gets the credit for the TDS deposited by us. And one more important thing is that TDS under this provision has to be paid using the PAN of the assessee only. So no separate TAN number has to be obtained for this TDS deduction and payment.